Hello everyone. Good morning. I hope this message finds you in good cheer, good spirits. My name is Brian Jennings. This is my channel. It's dedicated to discussing the nature of reality. And so, the nature of my reality is that I'm a classical actor who wrote Quentin Tarantino about playing the lead in the movie Critic. That set into motion a sequence of events that led to him canceling the film and led to where we are now. Right? I could say something about him loving me, right? The Tribeca was him showing me it was his love language, right? That's right. And so, right, what I'm saying right now, and of course he's going to deny it forever. I'm not saying he's evil. Like these are the two positions, right? That what I mentioned in my letter, right, I've written 3 letters. I'm going to write a few more. 1 page. I'm not going to go on and on. Is that he's allowed to be a psychic. He's allowed to play mind games, right? And I'm allowed to expect people to look me in the eye and tell me what you want, right? Like, oh, share the arts, right? Right? I don't have to play mind games to be an artist, right? I don't have to submit my mind to be an artist. I hated myself for months, right? And if this was just about how he makes his movies, then he would have paid me nothing for my scene, told me I blew it, and let me play my little Hamlet, right? And let that be that. Right? This is about power and control. Right? I didn't submit to his will. Therefore, in his mind, he thinks it's appropriate to compel me to madness and suicide. And to be sure, I'll question my every thought on some level forever. But so will he. Right? But this is, right? It doesn't just like, oh, I got what I want. Like, no. No, we're both in a very similar psychology. And we will be for a long time, perhaps forever. It's a case study, right? It's a case study. Him and the people around him have spent hundreds of hours remote viewing me. And now we're a hive mind, right? Perhaps it's just him, right? These are the games he likes to play. Now I have no choice. I'm in it. And that's why I'm talking about it. Right? That's why I'm talking about it. Right? It's not about bitching. That's not what any of this is about. I gain nothing in the telling. Right? This is about my safety. This is about my livelihood. Right? He has all the money in the world. Right? And he's not cool. That's the point. If he was cool, he would have just paid me. Right? Oh, sure, he's waiting on me to sue him. Like, that's the argument. Well, I tried to do that, right? And he thought that it was funnier to traumatize me every day. So, no more lawsuits, right? We're just going to talk about it, right? And for all that you tried to destroy my mind, to compel me to madness and suicide, right? I'll write everyone whose opinion you respect and let them know what's occurring, because that's my right. I can't control what he does. Right? I can't, I know he could send people to kill me at any time. At any time. Right? And perhaps he did everything that he did so that I would say he could have the scene for free. But that was under duress. And if I sue him, right, which I will, if that scene's in the movie, because I can get a lawyer, it's not going to go to trial, it's going to pay me. So, the only true answer is reconciliation, is to embrace each other. Right? I've said I'm sorry 1,000 times. I don't have any more apologies in me. I want him to be happy. I want him and Daniela to be happy, right? I don't want that little girl to be a psychological wreck in 10 years. That's not what I want. right? That these are dangerous games he's playing at. And in that way, I was naive. But I can't stop talking about it, right? To stop talking about it is to say, oh, being a bully wins. Right? That he can just be ugly and evil to an honest guy who was just a jackass. Right? And I see it. I do see it. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm sewing. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think I'm figuring it out. And so the form, just to be thorough, is this, right? Which is two pentagons inside of each other, made from this stencil, right? Made from this drafting compass. And so the way that you make it in particular is that, so you have a circle. Then you divide a circle into half, and you draw a 1/2 area circle inside of that half that runs tangential to the big circle and the diametrical division. And so from there, you cast an arc above and below that runs tangential to the small circle, and that gives you your 5. That gives you your pentagon. Then you take your compass, right? So if you look at this, right, you see this arc right there, right? See, it runs over the little circle, right? And so you put your compass, the point of it, right there, inside of the first circle, and then you cast the second circle, and so it crosses these 2 points of the pentagon, right? And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so inside of here, this is a rhombus, right? It's a golden rhombus that makes the largest all-space filling polyhedra, the rhombic triacontahedron, and the 4 perpendiculars through the diagonals constitute the 120 T modules of synergetics, right? It also squares the circle. This is a very mystical and magical, right? And so I've cut a bunch out of fabric and now I'm stitching them together, and it's gonna be a shirt. It's gonna be cool. So again, right? It's about like, oh, I could have been a movie star, right? But like now I see that Quentin just hates me, right? It took me a long time. It took me a long time because I'm a loving, trusting guy. Like I have no cunning in me, and I guess that's like, I don't know, like that's what he thought in his mind. It's like, oh, he wanted to hurt me. He wanted to hurt me. And I didn't. I really didn't. I can't say that enough. That I wanted us to be close, and we are close. We're as close as any people can be. 100%. But I didn't want to trust. I didn't want to believe that he set the whole fucking thing up for me, but he did. And in that way, right, I was a complete fucking jackass. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that. I suspect he's been playing his games for a long time. Right? I have the right to be simple and honest, right? In his mind, I have the right to be a loser. Right? That's fine. That's fine. We can both exist, right, in the world at the same time, right? You put a lot of hope and expectation on a loser, right? I don't think I'm a loser, but you have the right to say whatever you want, right? And I have the right to call you evil. These are our rights. An evil practitioner, right? Who betrays the light of God. And so what do I mean? I mean that Quentin is a powerful psychic clairvoyant who remote views people. That's what he does, right? He expects the actors in his films to submit their minds to him. And that's why he didn't say anything to me. Right? And if I had realized, right, again, if I had realized, like, oh, this is what he needs from me, right? Like, even in the psychic crucible of the mind's eye, because he remote viewed me every day for like 2 months from the time that he canceled the film to Tribeca. Really, until now, but, certainly until Tribeca. All he had to say was, it's important for you to be strong. Right? That's, right, that I need you to be strong. Right? Instead, it's subtle, it's coy, it's cunning. And I don't do that. I'm a bull in a china shop. So, this is where we are. I don't know what they all say. All the people that have been aware of me, right? Which is more people than you think. Not because of this channel, because of show business. Right? Do they just say, well, cost of doing business. That's our Quentin, satanic occultist Quentin. What a guy, what a writer. Right? I don't know. I don't know. Do they tell him that it's disgusting? Do they tell him this is not what we were protecting you to do? Right? That's right. Like, again, I can't stress this enough. Like, he could have just paid me. Right? Could have just paid me nothing. Moved on with his life. 1 million, 2 million. Now it's beyond money. Right? Now it's a spiritual, esoteric thing. And so we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it every day. There's no not talking about it. I don't want to die. And this is like, that's like, he's been playing I'm going to make him kill himself. That's the game that he's been playing. Not another game. That's the only game. And I don't want to do that. Right? And so that's why I'm talking about it. Because the next step is outright murder, outright assassination. So I'm taking it day by day. I'd like to hope that it's getting better. Maybe went through both. Right? All I can do is live my life. All I can do is be vigilant and loving and generous. I'm going to volunteer today at the food bank when my mother goes to church. Right? And so, if you recall, if you've been watching these videos for a while, I was volunteering with the United Way, writing calligraphy, handwritten calligraphy, thank you notes. And they were all very sweet and generous and loving, and I was having a really nice time getting to know them. But of course, right, Quentin doesn't want me to seem like a sane person. This is right, this is the game. Again, I'm insane, he's evil. That's the condition. Now the condition. This thing's all fucking punched up. And so while I was making thank you notes, right, his evil became so ugly, just so awful with those hypodermic needles, that I asked the woman that runs it, really nice lady, I think her name's June, if she would send a letter to Mike Simpson, right? And then it just went into overdrive. And so I didn't feel comfortable going back there. I would love to go back there now, and we'll see how it goes today with the food drive, you know? But my point is that Quentin is portraying me in a particular way, right? And he has succeeded on a lot of levels as far as I went to fuck off, right? Cursed aemanuel, right? Cursed him to see my green Irish eyes every time that fine fucking wife of his eats his ass. Right? And it was a rhapsodic fervor that he will never forget if he watched it. Right? But that's not me. Right? Right? Quentin has compelled this condition within me by their insulating him. Right? Like, that's the point. Right? And I suspect that they are all sick of it. Gotta be. I'm sick of it. But I can't stop talking about it. I don't have the luxury of stopping. We have to talk about it every day. Right? This is my life. Right? I have the right to be a coward. Right? And he has the right to be evil, and I have the right to talk about it, right? He can kill me at any time, right? This is the fear, right? This is the fear. So, at the beginning of time, this principle, this foundation began to express itself, which is love. And love is a selfless giving. And in that way, we both failed. Right? That I should have selflessly given him my intellectual light, because surely it would have been the finest moment of his career. And the beginning of mine. But he also, right? But love is the principle which all of life is founded upon. It is a compounding upon itself, an endless giving, never to be misconstrued with charity. Charity is the expression of love in man to the world, man to man. Right? Divine acts of charity is God made manifest in the world. So, on the highest levels of understanding is this idea that there is a conscious field, right? And so, the conscious field exerts that love upon the spatial structuring, right? The subquantum geometric archetypal lattice that allows all of life to flourish and manifest thereby. And so, man has a conscious awareness and can exert a conscious pressure upon reality. Right? And so the purest expressions of that is, of course, art, painting, writing, sewing, all of these things. It's a hearkening to the fact that there is this thing, it's called beauty, truth, goodness. Right? And by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star. And so the highest levels of the artistic expression is the psychic medium, the clairvoyant. So in tune with the nature of reality and the conscious field which permeates all of space, that they can behave like God, like that abstract intellectual quality which compels life to flourish within and around it. God itself is a pure abstraction, It cannot be manifest. It's been called many things, and it's all the same thing. It's simply the idea that life is not accidental, that it emerges from something, and of course that must be true. So, when you're rooted in love, when you're rooted in charity, you can heal the sick, you can make beautiful things, right? All of these things, and 1,000 things more. On the other side of heaven is the shadow. It is the recognition that through malevolence, that through hideous, it's the same thing. It's the same act of intention. It's the same thing, right? That you can push out a thought of love, right, and have that be rooted in like your action and your expectations. And this is how nuns heal the sick. And then, which is far easier, because as soon as entropy begins, as soon as motion begins, right? As soon as the pendulum starts swinging, it has to inevitably, right, run out of steam, right? And so, if you so choose, right, to be pure evil, right, you can take that same wisdom that will allow someone to heal the sick and push a thought out that you wish someone to expire and be destroyed, and to decay and degrade. And this is what I find myself in. And I have never like actively, right, conspired, built something, right? I talked about the Celestial Iron Maiden, but I just don't. I fear that he's a coward and that he'll kill me, right? If I actually do something, right? And I suspect this is why he doesn't want to pay me, right? Because he's done a bunch of fucked up shit to me, and now he's just supposed to pay me $40 million and let me loose in the world. Sounds pretty ridiculous to me, right? So it's not about money. It never has been. So, see what's good in your life. Suppose I'll go. I'll let you know how the shirt goes as I'm stitching it. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit the notification button. God bless. All the best.